the creator of the show Good Things DC, pageant winner, mother, actress, practice owner. Shall I continue? Kinosha!
At the end of the day, we have the power to live as deliciously as we want to.
Marriage, motherhood, business. I want to know how you juggle it all. How do you balance it?
As much as I love the word balance, I don't take too much stock in it, just because I think balance looks different for me day to day.
Hey, Faith Girls. Welcome to the Hey, Faith Girl podcast. And you know what we do? We're navigating life with faith, fire, and grace. Now, we have amazing episode for you today. I have a wonderful guest. Oh, my gosh, she's amazing. The creator of the show, Good Things DC, pageant winner, mother, practice owner. Oh, my God, shall I continue? I mean, oh my gosh. Actress, a dancer, okay?
I must get bored a lot.
Oh my gosh. When I saw that you were doing dancing, I was like, oh my gosh.
Oh yeah.
Put her on Dancing with the Stars.
Did that once, sort of.
Amazing.
But it was fun, yeah.
Yes. Yeah. We have Kinosha Soden with us today. Kinosha!
Hello!
Thank you for coming.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you for having me and being
Yes.
here. This place is amazing. I'm sorry. I'm just having all the feels. So I'm just so excited to be here. I miss you.
Listen.
I feel granted, it's been a long time since I've been here with you, but I follow everything that you're doing constantly so that I don't feel like I'm out of the loop.
Yes, same. Okay, so Kinosha, you probably do not know this, right? But okay, well, let me give you guys a little history about Kinosha and our relationship. I have come to meet Kinosha. She was competing in the DC
Mrs. DC America.
Mrs. DC America.
Yeah,
and she hired me as her makeup artist, and I was working with some of the other contestants as well. Well, we won. I just said, we won. But one thing I noticed about you, Kinosha, is that, and with working with the other contestants, no shade, love everyone, still in... Yeah. I follow some of the other contestants, but you and I, we just connected on another level. But what it was about you is your spirit and your confidence.
Oh, thank
you. And you didn't have anxiety. You were so...
I think, I think with a lot of things that I do in that, and I know we'll probably get into a couple of questions about this later, but it was kind of somewhat of a new experience for me. Mm-hmm. And so I think whenever I have had new experiences like that, I have to kind of put myself in a place of not second guessing why I'm there and why I'm doing it. Because the minute that you do that, even if you really are, you are going to automatically retreat.
Wow.
And I know that about myself enough to know that I think this is also something that was taught to me at a very young age. You talked about dance and things like that. I've been in the studio since I was probably 3. My mom was a dancer. And so it was just kind of a part of my life. But I think that is also something that I kind of gained, not because it was taught to me, but almost by observation as a little girl watching these other older dancers and just watching people learn and then going through it myself, because at the end of the day, we all don't know something, and at some point in time we have to learn it, right?
So true. It's inevitable.
That's kind of what it was like with the pageant. It was kind of okay, I chose to put myself in this arena, and even though it probably wasn't the most comfortable place, I'm okay with being uncomfortable, because I think that's where you grow the most, and I think that's kind of how I approached it. But I had the most fun, though, and I was so blessed
you were so
to
graceful.
Be surrounded by people like you, because, again, and I still say that to this day. I had like just such an amazing support system and team, whether it was like you or like Artis, my hairdresser, who was like a great friend as well. Even my coach, like all of those people, and of course, you know, family and friends. But being able to like be like, okay, I can stand up here. I can do this.
Yes, and you were, but the confidence that you possessed was just amazing, and the grace. Like, you would have never known that was your first time. Like,
Thank you.
and we just went with your flow. Like, you were never just anxious. You were always nice, very, you know, sweet but direct, you know, with what you wanted, clear with the vision, and you allowed us to collaborate with you.
Yes.
And you were just such a pleasure to work with. And so, which is why I think we're just even still here till this day, because you left such an impression on me. And I admire, so this is what you didn't know. I admired you so much. I took notes from watching you, like literally how ladylike you were, how you handled your children, how you know, handled your husband. And so I'm like a sponge. I've always admired and appreciated being around women that were, you know, older than me, because I love to learn.
And I think about you. Well, I can tell you right now, my grandmother, Clara Triplett, who's still living, she's 96, would.
Wow, what a blessing.
Yeah, she would like be so proud to hear that, because I think like there, and my mom too, but there's so much. She's matriarch of our family, and there's so much that I took from her, again, just by observation. And you know, it's almost kind of like, you know, I know they have the thing now, the kids say, or, you know, it's like, what would somebody else do? So I think I've always grown up like, what would Clara say?
Right.
And what would Clara do? Right. And, you know, I think that's always been, and really every woman in my family, I've been very blessed to be raised and upheld by very strong, yet very empathetic, yet very loving women and men in my family. But the women in my family have always been the ones that really was like, do as good as me, but do better.
Love it.
You know?
Love it. Yeah.
And don't do worse, but do better.
But do better, right?
Because if you do worse, I'm going to come tell you about yourself.
Gonna pull you to the side.
That
like,
part, yes. I did get in trouble once with Clara for taking my shoes off in a cousin's wedding that I was like the junior bridesmaid. And I was like, my feet hurt. She was like, if you don't put them shoes back on. But, you know, just having those wonderful examples. And so thank you. I mean, I would have never, ever.
Oh, my gosh. Till this day, I still, you're one of those women that I aspire to be like.
Thank you.
So thank you for setting an amazing example.
Thank you. I'm honored. I mean, so much honored.
Yes. So I want to talk about Good Things DC.
Okay.
What season are we in?
Okay, so technically 8.
8 seasons.
Technically. So 4 on the radio.
Okay.
Where we started. And then we're in our 4th televised season. So,
wow. Congratulations.
Thank you.
That's amazing. I love it. It's an amazing show.
Thank you.
You all look great.
Thank you.
So tell me what inspired you to create the show?
So, you know, the short part of it is, so when I was Mrs. DC in 2016, I was actually asked to create something, or if I was interested in creating a radio platform for WLVS Radio. And I was like, no, because it was just something. It was something I had never really thought about doing, or had really never ventured into. But again, just like with pageantry, I was like, okay, Kinosha, maybe do something that scares you.
Yeah.
And I think, though, the best part of it was that I was given the opportunity to do something that was just me. So I had pretty much carte blanche to create what I wanted. But the one thing was like, we need something different than what's here. And I thought, I don't know what's here. So, you know, I literally didn't know, you know, the programming or the shows that were already there. I think I knew one show, and that was the show I was a guest on at the time, that was ran by, we miss her so much, Dr. Renee Allen. And so that was the only one that I knew about. And but I think once I knew that I was like, okay, I have this opportunity to do something, to create something that is of me, what do I want that to be?
Yes.
And the biggest thing that I wanted from, which it's funny because originally it was just called Good Things, right?
Wow,
so the DC came later, but it was called Good Things. And literally I wanted it to be all of that because as somebody who not only, in a way, in 2016, I had been in the DC area for 5 years. And so, you know, I was still kind of learning my way and, you know, just trying to make a new home from someplace new that was new for me. This is my husband's hometown. But and so I really wanted to be in a place where instead of, I think it's great to miss home and you're always going to, you know, love that feeling of home and the people. But it was also really important to me to not only find my place, but find the good in being where I was and doing what I was doing, even though it might have been a little different than what I thought I would be doing at that time.
Really? What did you think you'd be doing?
So, for those that don't, Schnelle kind of mentioned before. So I do wear a lot of hats. So professionally, like prior to coming to the DC area, so like my background is in biomedical engineering. That's what I went to school for.
Wow.
I worked in that field for numerous years back in St. Louis at Monsanto. I worked in research and science. And so when I came here, I knew I was going back to school for medicine. And I was, you know, I had finished school and was doing this in process of joining the practice and all of that. But when I say like different, you know, if you would have asked me, you know, 8 years prior to that, what you would be doing, it definitely wasn't going to be, oh, you're going to do a pageant. I would have been like, you're crazy. Oh, you're going to have a talk show. You're double crazy. You know, so all of these things were just really not on my radar. But I really wanted to be able to embrace where I was. And I wanted to show people that no matter what area or season of life you were in, no matter what things you have or haven't accomplished, or even just like what your dreams are, that there is really good in everything. I'm a person who was always taught there was good in everything and everybody. You just have to look for it and you have to look hard enough. And
that's good.
That was really the biggest part. You know, I wanted people to not only understand that for me, it was kind of a therapy for myself because I also wanted to be able to live my best life and do things that brought me joy, even if it was just one day at a time. And so that's kind of the main inspiration that has always been like the main mission for Good Things DC.
I love that. So it was a journey for you. It was healing for you.
It was.
And you were bringing it to radio, to television. I love that.
Absolutely. And I think something that like a lot of people don't, some people who watch from the beginning know, but like I did, I think I want to say only 2, but they tell me it was 3 episodes alone when I first started it. So it first started at the beginning of 2017. And I remember doing it, and it was an hour radio show, and I thought, this is cool. But I think after like the 3rd episode, there was a part of me that was like, what are you doing? What are you doing, Kinosha? This is a lot, and this is not even your background, and this is, you are just fish out of water. And I remember coming home from like filming that day because it was live. And I had a week until the next one. And I thought to myself, you know, I could just quit right now. Who cares? I could just quit.
But
I can
that's
just
not
give it
you.
up. Yeah,
But that's not you.
It's not me. But I was really burdened by it.
Wow.
And I thought, this is just, and a lot of that self-doubt crept in. And so I remember going to sleep. And, I said my prayers at night. And one of the prayers I said was, God, if this is for me, I really need you to show me it's for me. I need you. I need a sign. I need you to give me an idea. Like, I'm just going to lay it all out there.
Yeah.
And I giggle about, we always talk about this, will be on our True Hollywood story.
I love that show. I'm like, do it still come on? I'm telling you, I
don't know if it does, but I was like, if it doesn't, we'll bring it back.
Listen, bring it back. It's coming back with you, okay?
But
I love that show.
I just needed something, and I said, please show me what I need. And the next morning, I woke up, and
what did he show you, girl?
Literally, just as clear as. And I'm not going to cry because sometimes this makes me cry. Just as clear as the vision could possibly be. It was like, call Britt Jones and ask her if she wants to do a guest spot on the show and be a part of a set. Like, there was like this weird stuff going on because I usually would start working on a show the week before. These two people who I had met maybe separately, but momentarily, Britt Jones and Leah Rushlow, who are my co-hosts. I knew them from the pageant world. I didn't know them together. And I didn't at the time, I knew them, but I knew them as their predecessor, right? And so, being the person that's like, oh, I'm just kind of here to show you the ropes and blah, blah, blah. But that's it. And neither one of them knew each other. And so I invited them on the show to be a part of a special guest panel for the next episode. And I'll never forget that Britt, they didn't know each other. And she was like, I went to my husband. She was like, I don't know why she wants me to be. I'm not a fashion person. I don't even know why she asked me to be on here. And she was like, Britt, just go. And she was like, well, it's Kinosha, so I'm gonna go. I'm gonna do it.
That speaks to who you are.
And so I said, okay. And then when her and Leah met, that was their first time meeting on the set. And they immediately clicked. And it was literally just kind of magic. And to this day, like I said, it was the most touch that I have probably felt about something. Because I was ready. I was ready. I'd never really quit on anything, not voluntarily.
Of course,
right?
I know
and
you.
so, but I was ready. I was like, I'm not doing this anymore. That was great. Thanks for the opportunity. I was like ready to do my whole speech.
Deuces.
Right, I'm good. I did my best. Just rerun these 3 episodes for the next whole season. I'm completely fine with that. Right, that was going to be what it was going to be. So I'm eternally grateful for just having having a heart open enough to hear that and to be guided that way. And for them to be a part of it. So I'm just. Yeah. And then here we are now, 8 years later.
And I'm telling you, I would have never known that, you were, because that's just who you were so good. Like I said, she won. And so, oh my gosh, and you won so gracefully. You were so good at what you do. And, you didn't gatekeep. You always supported and went and helped the other contestants. So I didn't know that I thought y'all had a friendship.
No.
The energy between you three is magnetic.
I think I met Britt on an appearance that someone else was another contestant was supposed to show up with her who was competing for that following year for 2017. And I got a call at the very last minute from our director who said, she's going to be there by herself. Yeah. I can't get any of the other girls. And it was a veterans appearance for a veterans home. And she was like, I really don't want her there by herself, nor do I want to pull her from it or pull us, the organization. So she was like, are you available? And I said, sure. Yeah, I'll go. Yeah. And she wasn't expecting me or anything when we got there. And we had 4 hours there at the veterans home in D.C. And we had the best time, and we bonded just being there. And, she was in the middle of competition, and I'll never forget. I mean, to me, it didn't seem like anything big, but she was like, it was like the biggest thing, because when it was over, she was like, can we get some lunch? And can I ask you some questions about the pageant? And that's really how we first started. And and Leia, like I was talking earlier before we got tired. Yeah, it's a very funny story. I'll like spare the graphic details, but she ended up having to see as a contestant because our dermatology practice, were sponsors of the pageant after I won, and so one of the things for the following year, and we were sponsors for the next year up. And so she had a skin issue that she was really concerned about. It was a very delicate issue. And she didn't want to go to just like a random person. And she was kind of new to the area. And so I remember it was at a rehearsal for their particular group. And she was like, I heard you guys are sponsors and your husband's a dermatologist. I have this issue. Do you think it would be okay if I go see him for it? And I was like, yeah. And then she told me what the issue was. She was like, I just need him to look here. And like, when I tell you, I was like, yeah, I'm going to know you forever. You are literally going to.
It was that intimate.
You're going to be in my life. Literally.
It's like when you go for a wax with your girlfriend. It's like, oh yeah, we're bonded.
This is it.
Like,
yeah. And she was not shy about it. She was like, this is what happened.
Oh, yeah.
My husband was looking at it. He was like, you need to see somebody. And so, like, literally, I was just drawn to these people. But at the same time, I will also say one thing that the three of us have in common is neither one of us are originally from the area.
Yeah.
And at that time, for all of us, kind of, I say in secret, we were all kind of like at a place where we were like, you know what? I could go home.
Wow.
I could go home. I miss home. I miss family. I miss my people. I love, all of us moved to the area for work, mostly for our husbands. Like we worked, but like it was mainly because like they had something that brought them to the area.
Gotcha.
And so it was like, I get it. I want to be the supportive wife and all, but check these out. Because there's nothing here. And I think, and we didn't know this about each other, but then we also learned, like literally each one of us were at a place that we were just like, God, please give me somebody. Just give me a reason to be good here. Give me a reason. Britt said, I was even going as far as like, I need a sister. I need somebody. And literally we found each other. And like, I feel like to this day, we always say we saved each other from something. Like we was either going to be like,
y'all got to tell the husbands that.
Oh, they know. They know. All of them are very good friends.
Like, we was almost out.
We was out. Y'all could stay. You could stay, boo. And I love you, but I got to go. I can't do this anymore. So yeah, it was all of that.
That's beautiful.
Yeah, it was all of that.
Yeah. I love sisterhood. I mean, I always say we need each other.
Absolutely.
And for these very reasons, like, doing life alone is hard. Like you need someone to share, just to, understand, hey, I miss home. Yeah. Just having someone that you could say that to and they understand and they
understand. Yeah.
So that's beautiful.
Yeah.
What do you want Good Things DC to do for the community? What is your hope for that?
So again, one of the biggest parts of, when we wanted to grow Good Things, and when we wanted it to be where it was or where it is and even beyond, was that we really wanted to be able, number one, to reach people in a way that they could see that, look, we're doing what you're doing every day.
Wow.
The same life, same struggle, same, we're dealing with the same stuff.
Come on, Kinosha.
Every day.
Yeah.
And, even though, it can be obviously at waves and it shifts and challenges can be, little lesser sometimes than other. We're all having to handle life.
Yeah.
We're all having to exist in a way that, one, allows us to we usually have to be productive and show up, not just for like our families and our children or our work, but at some point in time, especially as women, we got to show up for ourselves.
Yes.
And sometimes that looks different.
Yeah.
But I think overall, what we want people to come away with every single day. One of the things that we always, the different parts of the show have always remained, We always want to be able to offer you some sort of education.
I love that.
We always want to be able to offer you some sort of like, personal insight.
Yeah.
Maybe some tips or like, look, I don't know if you've tried it this way, but this is what I tried. Maybe you might want to try that out and see if it works. Or I tried this and girl, don't do that. Because it's bad.
I done did it for you. Don't do it.
Do not recommend 1 star.
Yeah.
But we also want it to always leave people with joy.
I love that.
Love, laughter. Our tagline is not accidental. Love one another, always be kind, do good things.
Yes.
Because at the end of the day, no matter what is happening around us, and I mean, let's face it, we in a lot of that right now.
There's a lot going on.
But one of the things that I think even I've learned so much, and I would even give my hat off to Leia for this because she is probably the one who I think embodies this the most, is that no matter what is going on, you have the choice of how you're going to respond to it. You have the choice of how you show up to it. You have the choice of taking up space. And so...
Oh, that's good. Yes.
And although we might all have certain types of parameters that we might need to adhere to in order to make things go round, you are always you, and you are always the gift, no matter what.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
That's good. That's beautiful. Thank you. That just inspired me. Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you for that
absolutely.
reminder, because we need it sometimes.
Yeah.
Life is definitely ebbs and flows, and so you need that reminder. Yep. So thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's a reminder to us. It's, we have those moments where we're like, what am I doing and why? And, we have to be able to say, and it's okay to be in those places sometimes. Yes. But, we hope that always, when people watch us or they engage with us, that they always come back with that feeling. One of the biggest compliments I think that we get, and that I feel like we get, is that when people meet us outside of the cameras, they're like, oh, y'all are the same people. On the camera. And I'm like,
down to earth.
You are. This is what you get.
What you see is what you get.
We don't know how to be anything else.
Yes, I will say that about you ladies. Like, you are truly, every time that I've, spoke with Leia, every time I've spoke with Britt, consistently, I've been to your, you've thrown beautiful Christmas parties, and you like, come on in here. I'm like, you have this beautiful home, and I'm like, and I'm trying. You like, girl, come on in here. And
this is home. If you are in my house, the minute you walk in, you are at home too. This is your house. So
beautiful. So listen, I want to know how you juggle it all. You're a wife, a mom of 2 beautiful children, amazing children that's doing amazing things. I mean, how do you balance it? How do you show up for yourself and your dreams?
So one thing I do is that I think, as much as I love the word balance, I don't take too much stock in it, just because I think balance looks different for me day to day.
That's so freeing. Say that again.
Balance looks different every day.
That's so
every day.
True.
And I used to be on the other side of that, where I felt like, okay, there has to be a balance in, marriage life, and there has to be a balance in work home life, and there has to be a balance in even like me time, or like the things that I have, feel drawn to but balance is a everyday thing. I think about my day to day.
Yeah.
Balance for me today really didn't have to do with anybody else.
Okay.
Basically, but me, and making sure that I didn't put my own self out of balance, because today was kind of, quote unquote, a free day for me, meaning I wasn't in the office, or, but to that same accord, I also had to be aware of, like, I'm that kind of person. I love a task list. I love a task list, right?
Really?
All day. Like, check off, got this done, got this done.
You like to visually see it?
I need to see it. I love to do it. And so I have had to learn that, on days like that, where, one, I could fill my entire day with to-dos,
Yeah.
you know, whether it's home things, run errands, whatever.
Yeah.
I could also choose to do none of it and be like, I'm just going to lay in bed and have a self day. Do none of the stuff at all. But like, I have to look at what does Kinosha need today?
Yeah.
What does balance look like for me today? And so even though like
That's
somebody
beautiful.
else could be like, oh, you should, you know, you had such a busy week. We had a very busy weekend. You know, we were talking off mic. We had memorial service and we did all these things this past weekend. And so, yes, to someone else, they might be like, oh my God, you just want to probably just chill and do nothing and stay in bed. But balance for me today was, well, you know what? I would like to look at my son's calendar.
Yeah.
I want to see what's ahead of me and get myself kind of mentally prepared for and for me, that was balance. Now, tomorrow, it might be a whole different situation.
Like, nah, I don't want none of it.
Yeah. And, you know,
I want to lay in the bed, actually.
I do want to lay in the bed. And I also would like for you to not talk to me. Thank you. So that might be balance for me tomorrow. I don't know.
It was just me.
No.
Oh my gosh.
No. Well, and I think even in marriages, you know, I think we have all been kind of, you know, we talk a lot about, 50-50. But I think it's, one, that's unrealistic. True. You know, two, let's just be honest. You know, sometimes, yes, if it's 50-50, sometimes lovely. That looks different for everybody.
Right.
But most of the time, it's like 70-30. Like, you know, some days I'm like, boo, I got 10. I'm going to need you to be 90. Because all I got is 10 today.
I got 10%. Can you live with it, please? And thank you.
Just today. Tomorrow, I'll probably be back at 80 and you can have 20.
Yes.
You know, and so I think like, you know, Syl and I, we also don't really subscribe to like, it's got to be fit because that's just not realistic.
That's not realistic.
Yeah.
That's not life.
Yeah. But that's
beautiful.
really, I do try to make sure as I've gotten older, I've learned the word no.
Yeah.
And that the word no is an entire sentence on its own. So I have learned that. And I've also learned yes in the way of accepting help, accepting support.
Yes.
And those things come in many different ways, you know.
Yeah.
And even when it's not just somebody asking me if I want it, but me reaching out saying I need it.
That's good.
So, yeah.
That's really good.
Yeah.
How do you intentionally make time with your family?
Ooh, honestly, I think just all of us are very aware of each other's days.
Okay.
Which I think that's always kind of been. And I don't know if it's because, and I think like my youngest is just now getting into the fold because he's 12 and he's just now starting to have sports and things that he has to keep track of that maybe we're not even involved with.
Yeah.
So, one, I think we always are very intentional and have always been, I think it's just habit of check-ins. We have like regular check-ins and it's not anything formal. It's literally just a casual like, you know, how's your day? What went on? You know. And sometimes it's over dinner. Sometimes it's in the car. Sometimes it's who knows, you know.
Group chat works for us. We have a group chat and I mean, I have like gotten some things done in a group chat. Like I just, you know, hey, I need you to do this or or good morning, have a great day.
Absolutely.
Because my day starts early. I'm up and out at 5 a.m, you know.
And they're just now, they're just stirring.
Listen, they're in the bed, maybe going up to, you know, going to the bathroom to, you know, use it for a moment and going right back in the bed. I'm at work into my day.
Yeah, you're already, exactly.
But I'll send a text message, you know, love you, have a great day. Don't forget to do X, Y, Z. Sometimes I'll put task in there.
They know you're there.
But exactly. And then we could check in, you know, when we get group chat. So,
but no, that's literally, we're very intentional about that. And I think one of the things I'm very grateful for is, not that I didn't feel it with my parents. Both of my parents worked, and both of my parents, I think, were very present to the level that they could be present. And you know, when I say present, like, you know, at functions and things like that.
Right.
You know, but I think one of the things that probably I do a little different is I have learned, I feel a little bit better. And I think this is generational. I think we've probably learned how to do this better than our parents. But the prioritization of certain things. And because it's very easy to prioritize things. You can even sometimes over prioritize your family over other things. It's possible.
So good.
It is possible.
That is so good.
And I know people that happens to, you know, and so then other things feel neglected. And it's, you know, they feel like they're doing the right thing because you're putting your family up here. Yeah. It's just like balance to me because I feel like sometimes the priorities are going to shift. And you just have to be aware of that. But I think having, you know, work is not always the priority. Yeah. Home is not always the priority, you know.
This is so good, ladies. Oh my gosh.
You know, it changes and that's okay.
It changes.
And that's okay. Yeah.
I love that. Yeah. So you have successfully run multiple businesses.
Too many hats sometimes.
How do you do it?
You know, I think most of it is, again, not really too much different than what we've talked about before. I think one thing for me is I'm a very purpose-driven person. I will say I'm not very good at what my mom would say, faking the funk.
I love that. I love it.
I've never been good at that.
I love that. You're what we call just a real person.
Thank
you. Thank you for being real and authentic. Thank you.
I mean, there are things I think we learned that, you know, as we get older, responsibilities, you know, you do what you need to do. And that's fine. That's one, you know, way of having to do things. But I think also when it's time to do the things or you have the opportunity to, if you're faced with, you know, given the opportunity to do something that is of you. Yeah. And that you really can pour. Because, you know, as a business owner. Yeah. The work doesn't have a off button. Right. You may have an off button because your body eventually is going to say, I'm done. Yeah. Lay it down. But there is no, you have to create the boundaries because obviously, you know, the boundaries really aren't there per se because work, it doesn't stay in one place. It comes home. It's a part of everything. Wow. You know, being that not only do I have like my own thing with like Good Things DC, but then also being a practitioner that I share practice with my husband and our parents. And, you know, the roles and responsibilities that I have for that. Even when I went in and was like, hey, I want to create this whole new branch. We're going to have a whole new aesthetics practice part of this and blah, blah, blah.
Oh, I'll be there on Tuesday.
You know, all of this
what
stuff.
Days you work again?
Right,
I'll be there.
I know. It was like all of those things. It was like, okay, I still had to be, you know, conscious that not only, yes, I'm very passionate about what I do, but I work with my husband and, you know, I want to stay married. Yeah, I really would like to stay married. So I have to, you know, shift priorities sometimes because those, you know, I do want to keep, again, I don't like to necessarily say the word balance, but I do have to be very aware, like where those things go. And he's the same way. And I think like, you know, not only is that important for me, but I think one of the things that has made everything that I've done successful, especially that my husband's been a part of, is that we both have so much respect for each other's.
Super supportive, both of you. Like it's beautiful to watch. Yeah,
but I think you have to have that. I mean, I praise you and Elliot as well because I do think that even if it's not your stuff, even if it's just your kids' stuff, like you know, you have to be able to be like, okay, boo, I got you, and you know, even if it's like that's not the way I would do it, but but I'm here for you.
You are schooling us. You are schooling the girls. I am so appreciative. I'm like taking notes. Trust me. I'm like, look, I'm going to go back and watch this and be like, okay,
I mean, this is for me.
This was a nugget for me.
Because these are, and this doesn't come from, you know, I'm not, I haven't written a book. I'm not reading books. This is just life and things that I've experienced. And, you know, and I've experienced the other way around. You know, I'm a very naturally type A person. If I could probably have control over everything I did and how it happened, I would. But, you know, one thing that I feel that I'm very thankful to have grace and age is learning that
Yeah.
you don't get that.
Yeah.
And you don't get to do that. So
darn it.
It's better to yield when, when you need to.
That's so good.
Yeah.
Okay. And then lastly, I would love to talk about your acting career.
Oh, sure.
Yeah. I mean, you have an amazing Christmas movie coming up.
Yeah.
Tell us about that.
So it's funny because people are like, oh my God, was this your dream? And I was like, yeah, no.
And you do so well. Like, oh my gosh.
I'm very blessed. And that's the thing. It's like, sometimes it's hard because I don't want to take away from the blessing of it at all.
Yeah.
I think, I've always grown up around things that were entertainment. Mostly it was dance. I grew up dancing, mostly as far as when it became things out of the studio. I did musicals and that kind of stuff, stage, mostly in the capacity of dancing, singing, things of that nature. I think that for me, this was like another pivot in a sense, because it was something that I really hadn't dived into. I've done commercial work over the years, things that were just me, things that related to other things. I cheered in the NFL for a while, so things like that just came to pass because of affiliation.
Yeah.
But not really something where, I wasn't the girl at 16 that was like, I want to be an actress. That was never really on my radar, kind of like the pageant.
Yeah.
But again, same idea. I knew I had did some things here and there, and the more I did, the more I kind of had a love and started to get a true appreciation for the craft and what it was.
Yeah.
It kind of helped. I would say I probably dived more into it, which I think is kind of weird. When my daughter left for college, she went to school for film and television and journalism, which I think is, and she's like the back end stuff. She likes, all of the other production parts of it.
Yeah.
But that's really kind of when I was like, okay, let me see.
Yeah.
I actually went back to stage first. So I went back to like my roots of stage and theater. And that was great. But one of the things I realized, I was like, I'm a lot older now doing stage than I was. And stage is a lot of work.
Really?
I mean, I have utmost respect for people who do, theater and stage. It's a lot. I mean, I loved it. And there was a time in my life where I really did love it. I was blessed to have a very heavy leading role. This was probably 6 years ago in a historical play. And I remember being cast in it, not ever thinking that I would be cast for the role that I was cast for, and kind of feeling like, oh my God, what am I doing? I haven't done this, in decades, like literally, and just like the preparation for it, and the 2 nights, two shows a night, and you're doing it for 2 weeks, and that is theater life, and it was great.
Yeah.
I was so grateful to do it.
Yeah.
It was a very historical African-American play.
Beautiful.
But when it was done, I was like,
no.
I think I might check out this film thing a little bit because this might be a little better for me. And so I was fortunate that, there were some people who had seen my work here and there. And, at this point in time, I didn't have like representation or anything like that. And I just kind of went for it. And yes, the upcoming movie, actually, a Christmas bonus that will air holiday 2025. It's actually my very first film lead role.
Woo!
So I'm very excited about that. And it, and honestly, thank you. I love the role. I was completely honored.
Yeah.
And it just kind of, again, and this, things a lot of times work in ways that work around you. And maybe
so true.
Not in you or through you, but things are happening, somebody right now. And I say this to even all of those that are watching and listening. Someone is searching for you right now. Someone is looking for you. Someone is reading about you. Someone is taking notes, and someone is, wanting you to be a part of something. And this is all happening around you and you have no idea that it's happening.
It's just a matter of timing.
It's just a matter of timing. And so I'm, completely blessed. I'm very excited for everybody to see it.
I am too.
It's a
Let
great
me know
movie.
the premiere. Like, I want to come to the premiere.
I will. It's a great, I think that.
I love Christmas movies.
I do too. And that was the thing too, to be able to do that, to have a character that was fashioned after one of my favorite characters, Angela from Boomerang, which was played by Halle Berry, to have, and to be able to play a little bit of me as well was also like really great.
You're going to kill it.
I'm so excited. I can't wait for everybody to see it. It's Shaka Balamani is the writer-director of Balamani Media Productions, but, an amazing cast, Michael Patterson, Debbie Arnold, Brad Eaton. It's just really, really amazing. And it really is a great highlight of like the DMV, which is amazing too. So,
Yes, DMV, stand up. Kinosha, this has been wonderful.
Thank you.
What would you, if you could just tell the listeners, tell a woman, give them encouragement of just balancing multiple callings, marriage, motherhood, business. If you could just give them encouragement, while they're trying to, just follow their dreams.
Something that someone left with me a long time ago, I would say really to anyone, is to just kind of remember that even when you think you can't, life really only stops when one fails to create. And
That is so good.
Yeah. Or believes they can't.
That is so good.
And
wow.
Also remembering that whether it's yesterday, today, or tomorrow, I am a true believer that where God has placed you in whatever moment is exactly where you're meant to be.
Yeah.
Even if it feels like you shouldn't.
Yeah.
And, we all know that life is challenging at times. Life can be hard. But ultimately, life and every day is a gift.
Yeah.
And we need to savor those gifts.
Yes.
We need to remember that at the end of the day, we have the power to live as deliciously as we want to.
Deliciously. I want to live deliciously. I love that. As we want to.
Yeah.
Thank you. You're
welcome.
amazing.
You're
I love
Thank you.
Please let everyone know how they can follow you, how they can, stay in the know about Good Things DC,
absolutely.
the movie.
Absolutely.
Yes.
So I will start with the easy one. You can follow Good Things DC pretty much anywhere. Instagram, X, Facebook, at Good Things DC, and things with an S. And me, I'm a little not harder, but you can follow me at Kinosha Michelle Soden. So KINOSHAMICHELLSODEN. Sorry, it's so long. But usually once you start typing in the first part of the name, you can find me. But you can find me wherever there. And and you can check out Good Things DC all seasons on, if you're in DC, you can watch it on DCN Channel 16. But if you're anywhere in the world, you can stream it 24/7 on the DCE network and app, which is available on all streaming services.
Wonderful.
Yes.
Hey, Faith Girls, thank you for tuning in. You know what to do. Like, share, and subscribe. Bye.
Thank you.